just kind of settle in there. And, let yourself see her face. So you could just kind of let yourself channel in. And breathe. And let yourself just see her, maybe that last time you did see her. And so she's failed the bar again. And I want you to just see if you can let yourself look into that face. And see her. You just told me about how hard it was for you to see her, and I'll invite you, ask you to honor her here with your presence, to bring yourself to her, to let yourself be her voice here. Maybe if you could touch your own sadness, you would find that you had your hand on the same cloth that she is touching. And breathe. Let your eye just delicate, just sort of touch down and follow the shape of her, how she holds her body. The way she orients her face, how she holds herself. Just let yourself just gently sort of notice the contours of her as she sits there. See if you can just feel the weight of what she is carrying rolling off of her. What it would mean to her to lay down that burden and to not be able to. And breathe, breathe. Now I'd like you to imagine that your awareness could just be poured into her body, and I know that I'm asking a hard thing of you here. And we can let it go a little later, but for right now, I'm going to ask you, beg you, to just gently let go of any resistance and let yourself be poured into her so that your awareness starts to fill her up, her feet, her legs, her body, until you start to breathe air through her mouth. And let that awareness just fill to the top of her head so that you can start to feel that trap that she sits inside of. And let it just twist you and shape you in the same way that it shapes her. And notice where that twisting and shaping, where you can feel that in your body. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to gently open your eyes, Cari. And I'm going to ask you to open your eyes from her eyes. And before you do, notice that there's a person sitting across from you who you've been working with for a couple of years. And maybe you can even see in this person you've been working with some disappointment. So when you're ready, I want you to gently, gently let your eyes come open and join me here in the room. Looks like it's been a hard week.
Yeah. It keeps, it's the same old thing, you know, I have to do what I need to do so that I can take this test again, and I'm just not doing it.
What do you mean? Not doing it?
The thought of not passing another time just terrifies me. It's better not to do anything than to fail again.
Is that what you've been finding yourself doing?
Yeah.
Hiding out?
Yeah.
Like where? At home?
At home. At bars.
What does that look like? Like if I were to walk by one and see you.
Well, if I'm drunk, then I don't think about it.
By yourself at the bar?
By myself, with friends.
Can you talk when you drink a little bit? Do you get a little ease in that?
Yeah, I can, like, we joke and make fun of it.
A little breathing space in there.
Yeah. You know, that I'll be the 40-year-old who's living at home with her mom because could never pass the bar and be a big girl and take care of myself.
It's not seeming very funny now, though, is it?
No.
You know, as you're talking about that, it like to make me cry thinking about you joking about it.
Well, I do cry a lot.
Yeah, me too. I've been thinking about you lately. Taking you home with me. There's some I've been thinking about lately, about us in here working, and we've been working a while. And there's something that I noticed that I've been doing in here. And I feel like I want to come clean. Would that be okay? Like watching you in this scramble, you know, to pass the bar. And, you know, trying to find ways to hold off, you know, what that means, you know. And It's just been so hard for me to see you in that place that, I mean, I know I've talked to you different times about things like acceptance and, like what I haven't been doing is that, like I've been sort of staying up here with you. And I'm seeing you here this week, and I'm thinking you got bar rooms full of people who are willing to stay up there with you. But I'm wondering, like if you have anybody who will like come down here, like right here, where we are. Like, is there anybody who really knows the heart of this?
I think there are some people who do for a minute and then they get frustrated with me.
Could you say who they are? And I want to make sure that I really hear you. So could you just like sort of say their name so that you could hear yourself saying their name? Just like, who is it that can see you but then turns away?
Well, there are a lot of people. My family's like, just do it.
Okay. So who in your family?
Who not in my family?
Yeah. Which one? Like if you just sort of let your family bubble there and let one just sort of rise up.
I'd say probably my mom. She wasn't real keen on me doing this anyway.
Okay. Cari, I want to make sure that I hear you. So let me hear this. It's like I asked you if anybody knows about this. And you said that you thought that some people know, but that they can't take very much of it and they turn away. And so Mom sees me and she sees how hard this is and sees me scramble, and Mom turns away. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you see her sort of physically see her face? I wonder if you could just take just a moment and let your eyes go closed and see if you can see your mom's face. And see if you can just let yourself look into your mom's eyes. And then gently come back into the room here and open your eyes. And would you tell me what you see there?
Disappointment.
And she turns away. And what does Cari do when that happens?
I tell her that at least she has 2 other kids who have their act together, who have professional success and are doing what they should be doing.
What's that like saying that? Even to me, right here, right now.
Embarrassing.
Embarrassed to say that to me.
Embarrassed that I'm not the one that I just can't, pass this stupid test.
There's this like piece in there that I can't quite put a hand on, but it's like like if a burner on the stove was hot and you reached out and you put your hand on it, then you would just take your hand off of it, but there wouldn't be any kind of you wouldn't sort of hesitate there or sort of linger near it or anything. You would just take your hand off and that would be it. And so some things are like that, it's like they poke you and you just draw your hand back. But this isn't really like that, because if it were just that, we just, like, wouldn't even be having this conversation. You would turn away from this and you would just walk away from it. And that would be the end of it. And it wouldn't be any more difficult. It might leave a little residue, just like touching the burner would. But there wouldn't be any hesitation about walking away from it. And it makes me think, but it's hard to see anything but the pain, right now. It's almost like there's nothing but the pain.
Yeah.
It's reflected everywhere, even in the jokes. It's I think the saddest thing that you've said to me so far today is the jokes. I think it hurts the most.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you. For hearing that. And there's something else. This isn't just a hot burner. There's something else in there besides pain.
Are you asking me what is it?
Well, how about this? Without answering yet. So you got this kind of cauldron of, there's disappointment and failing the test and feeling bad about it and getting drunk about it and joking about it. And there's all that in there, and it's so easy to see all of those things. And I just wonder, is there something else bubbling in there? And so I want you to just kind of let yourself, would it be possible for just a minute to just let that stuff kind of bubble? It's not there's any getting rid of it anyway. But if we could just sort of let that bubble and see if there isn't just something else in there. Just breathe. What's in there that brings you back?
Why don't I just walk away? Is that what you mean?
No, that's close to what I mean. It's something more that's kind of part of it, but it's got, what I'm feeling for here has more heart to it than why don't you just walk away? It's more and you're here. And you haven't walked away. And what's in there? That would make it so that you would keep your hand and all that pain.
I don't want to be a failure.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. And I just don't believe that's all there is to it. I just don't believe it.
What do you think is there?
I don't know. But I think you could know. What if there, think of it this way, like, say we could put it on your tombstone. She wasn't a failure. Is that what you want on your tombstone? Like, she wasn't a failure?
Versus she was a success.
Something. Yeah, well, let's just leave verses out of it, and let's just sort of say, if you could let yourself long for something, like if, like if you're putting your hand down into something, like this kind of cauldron of all this painful kind of stuff, right? And like if that's not just about pain, like if there's something that you could sort of reach for in there that would dignify having your hand down in the middle of all that pain. Would it be she wasn't a failure? Or is there something if you reach down in there just a little further? And I want you to, like, before you answer, just kind of see if you could just close your eyes for a moment and just imagine. Is it all right if I call up these hard things, Cari? Would it be okay?
Yeah.
For just a minute. So there's all this, like as you reach your hand down in there, there's all these painful things. There's failing the test. And there's coming in here and telling me about that. And there's that look in your mom's eyes. And there's getting drunk about it. And there's joking about it. And I want you to just imagine that you're reaching your hand down in there. And let yourself just feel it in your hand. How painful it is to reach in there. And if you could reach in just a little farther, just a little farther, what might be in there? And just hang out inside that. And breathe, breathe. And if you just gently, gently let your eyes come open and meet me here again. What might be in there for Cari?
I don't know.
Yeah. I want you to notice just like there was like that little place right before I asked you what might be in there for you. Was there like just like a little thing where there was like, you were hoping there'd be something in there? Something? And you just can't quite name it.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's just like something that's like so kind of tiny that you can't hardly even see it, but you can tell it's there.
Maybe it's not there.
Yeah, maybe it's not there. And if there's something that could be there that would dignify having your hand in that. Try this. I want you to who's someone that you love that's young? Can you think of somebody you love who's young?
Yeah, like youthful, like has a life ahead of them. Is that what, like, my cousin? Yeah.
Yeah, like just somebody you're fond of. that you can sort of look at them and hope for things for them.
Yeah.
If they had their hand sort of dipped down in this really painful bucket, and I know that you wouldn't want to wish that on anybody, but if they did have their hand deep down in it, and they could sort of lift something out for themselves out of all that pain, what would you hope for them to lift out of it?
Any purpose?
Yeah. Like they'd dip their hand down in this, and what would come up out of it would be like this sense of direction.
Yeah.
Something that would orient them. And what would that mean to you? Like if, if your hand came up out of there and you didn't even know it was going to be there, but there it was. Like, what would that mean to you if you lifted purpose out of that?
That maybe some of this is worse. I mean, this isn't just been a waste of time and effort and money.
What would that mean to you? How precious would that be? Like if I could sort of put your hands out. Like if I could sort of say, okay, I've got this here. You just lifted this out of there. Yeah. Like how precious would that be to you? How much pain would that be worth?
Yeah.
Could you say yes to that? If it gave this a chance. If it gave it just a chance even.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this question. Why? Like if you could serve the highest purpose that could come from here, like in the law, what would you serve?
I think probably the protection of children and innocently to protect those.
Yeah. Okay, now I want you to notice that we're something like that. Were you to put your hand down in there, and something came of it like that lots of things might happen, like maybe mom would be proud and dad and sis and all that. But I want you to imagine it was possible that none of them could know anything about it. So all the people that you've disappointed, right, wouldn't know anything about it. But that putting your hand down in that crucible allowed you to lift that up and to be an advocate in that way for people who have no voice, who have no way to protect themselves. Would it be worth putting your hand down in there?
Yes.
Would it be worth putting your hand down in there 2 times, 3 times? If it made possible you to give that, voice to that advocacy, would you? See, this feels like does this feel like purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like there has been purpose.
Yeah.
But that is the purpose.
Yeah, it gets lost in all of that, with all the broken glass sticking you in the hand and everything. It gets lost. It got lost for me in here too. I'm sorry that it got lost for me in here. And I promise that the next time I get lost, I'd like to promise you that I won't, but I will. But that the next time that I get lost, that as soon as I see that I'm lost, I'm coming back to you. And I'm coming back to this, if this is what you would like to come back to. Could this, maybe we need this, like to remember what we're here for.
Yeah.
That we're not here for, mom's admiration, although that would be wonderful, and I get what that means. I got a mom, I get it. That would be great. All those things too. But that, what we're here for is, that purpose that would make it worth putting your arm down in that crucible. You and me. That would mean something to me. It would mean something to me. I don't want this, to be, about me. And, I want, to be something that you and I, can work on. And does this have the feel of it?
Yeah.
It's kind of got more life than some of the scrambling around we've done.
Yeah, I haven't seen it that way. Thanks for helping me figure that piece out about the purpose. It hasn't felt that way.
I don't think I did figure it out. I think that, we just reached down in far enough where we could touch it. Because frankly, when we started, I couldn't figure it out. All I could figure out was how confused I was and how much I was missing the point.
Yeah.
Kind of funny how, you can get confused and then find purpose. Remember you said you reached down in there and you didn't know what was there?
Yeah.
But it was like something, and it was something that touched you. Something like advocacy for children. All right. We have used our time here. And if it seems to you like we've used it well, then I want to invite you to come back. And I will come back. And maybe you and I can find a way to welcome all of this as a way, to reach in. Where those children are that you would want to serve, there's plenty of pain there too.
Yeah.
Maybe this is practice for that. If we can learn to reach into this pain, then maybe, just maybe, you'll be better able to reach into that pain. They've got plenty. There just may be things that you can see and hear there that knowing, how to make a place for pain, lets you make a place for these people that you want to serve.
Great.
sometimes I'm honored to have the work that I have. And I want you to know that this is like one of those times when I really notice that. I'm honored to be here. And I look forward to what we might find together.